Okay, this is a video that is to help you create your film poster like I've got mine here. Okay, before we start thinking about actors and everything else, we're going to just do everything one step at a time. So the first thing we're going to worry about is the background. Okay, so making sure the background is a good picture, so that it doesn't look grainy, like it looks like a good quality photo like this one. Okay, so the first step that we need to do is select a new board to put our poster on. So we would choose international paper, and if we want it portrait, we can have it like this. Okay, if you wanted it landscape, you have to just change the width to the height. So width 297 and height 210. Okay, and that way you can have it landscape. All right. For this exercise, I'm just going to have it portrait. Okay. Then the next thing we need to do is hide Photoshop and look online for a good quality image. Okay. Now this is the image that I used, but certainly you can use any image that you want. You must make sure though, however, that it's a large picture, and go for advanced search. You can choose the size that you want it to be, okay? But you would definitely want it to be larger than 124 by 768. In fact, you probably want it much larger than that. So this is the one I actually chose, but for some reason, if you had the problem where you couldn't get an image that was that high quality, you can always pick out different elements to make the picture, right? And I'll show you what I mean by this. So, say I really liked, I thought this picture was good, but it didn't have enough greenery. I could save this picture by control clicking on it and pressing save image as, and saving it to your desktop. Okay, and then I could find some desert greenery to go with that. So okay, so I could use this nice shrub here. Okay, so view image, control save as to the desktop. Okay, maybe I want to set it at night time, so if I have a nighttime sky, okay, and I'm going to open my file, open my first image. Okay, and just bring in one at a time to play around with. So let's look at this picture. Okay, so I'm going to open that picture. Okay, so this is good, but I don't. So I might use this picture. So if I take the rectangular marquee tool, okay, rectangular marquee tool, and copy an area that I want to select, I can just press Command and C and paste it onto my board. Okay, so that's kind of good, but it's not quite filling the whole of my screen. So if I made it bigger to fit the screen, that's okay. It's not too pixelated. Okay, still looks like quite a high quality image. So I'm happy with that. Okay. It looks a bit bare for my liking. So if I close that picture and open another picture, and I can add some plants and things to make it a bit more interesting looking. So I found this desert plant earlier, if you remember, and I'm going to cut around this. Okay, I'm just doing this very quickly, but obviously when it comes to your work, you want to make it as nice and professional as possible. So that's my plant, and paste it in there. Okay. And say I want that same plant, but I want it dotted around a few times. If I can control and click on the layer, I can duplicate it, which means it's going to make a copy of it. And then I can put that plant somewhere else. But the further back I go, because we know that this rock is in the distance here, and we've moved the plant would get smaller as we're moving away from it. So we need to make the plant look smaller. Okay, so that it looks more realistic. Okay, so we can see that's now in the distance. Alright, so I'm going to duplicate that again. So control click on it, duplicate it, move the plant, and then press Command and T to change the size of it, okay? So that, even though that's the same plant, right, I might open up another picture and see if I can add something else to this. So, picture. Okay. Paste that onto there. Right. You can see it's quite small, so I would have to definitely make it bigger. Oops. We definitely have to make it bigger so it fits in. Oops. Okay, but obviously that's a bit flat on the ground there. So if I decide I want that to be my background, if I hide it by pressing the I, that disappears. Now, to get rid of the sky that's already here, I select the layer that I want to adjust, and then I can simply go around with my magnetic lasso tool, which you remember clings to stuff, I keep going round. Okay, following it all the way around, letting it cling to what it can find. Okay. I click on the end square for it to finish, and I can press delete. Okay, so my sky is now not here anymore. Then I move the layer of the sky below, and there I have a nighttime sky image. And it looks okay, but to make it look more convincing, I would turn that around so that looks like this galaxy's in the sky. I would get rid of the sky that's here already, but also I would need to make everything else in the image look darker because it's night time and it wouldn't be so bright. However, for the principle of this, I'm going to go back and bring in my original sky because I prefer it. Now, over here I've clicked the history button, okay? And what the history button is, it records every single step that you do so that if you make a mistake you can always go back. Alright? So, if I go back, these are all the stages that I've taken to put my night sky on there. Okay? And here we've got my original picture back. I might also add a bit of this kind of greenery over here. So I'm going to use my magnetic lasso tool again. Crop around some of this greenery very badly. Copy it and paste it. I'm going to make it a lot smaller. Okay. I also want it to sit behind where this plant would be. So I'm going to move it down in the layers over here so it's actually at the bottom. And then what I can do is, if I use my magnifying tool, I can zoom in to what this actually looks like, and it does look like I've copied and pasted it. So what I might do is rub out some of the skyline here. So it's taking some time to rub that out. Okay. I also might want to smooth things out. Okay. So to smooth images into each other, if we hold down this the blur tool, we can get the smudge tool, which means we can smudge pictures that have been put on into what's originally there. So that if I zoom out again, so control click on the background and zoom out. That's looking a little bit better over that side, but again, I don't want to play with that. So there I have an image. Okay, if I press fit on screen, it will just fit to it. Okay, and that's the start of the background. So what I want you to do is play around with your background. Don't just pick a picture and put it into the background. Try layering up things and making it look a bit more interesting.